Okay, maybe. Allegedly, we're live, so that's good. And we're a whole, I don't know, 30 seconds early. So that's pretty good too. Let's see. Okay. I did the Tweety thing. My browser is playing an advert before my own live stream, which is a bit confusing. Ooh. My phone is telling me that it's time to live stream, so that's good too. And anyway, while everybody's getting in, say hello. I am going to tell you a little story, which is kind of, I would say it's kind of sad, but it's also very me. And I don't know. Basically, I set all my stuff up and I had my lunch and I finished work and blah blah blah. And I thought to myself, oh, it's 2 o'clock. I've got 25 minutes before I need to go down and live stream. Great. I've got time to clean the bath. Have you ever had just one of those moments where you go, well, that's just, yeah. Anyway, hello, Valdegast. The cat is, well, though whiny. Ikari Kid, hi. Welcome, Suzanne. Happy New Year to you too. And Chipmunk, hello. All right, so I'm attempting to have a topic, possibly several topics, in this live stream. But if you have questions, that's it. Then you can ask those too. We're gonna talk for a bit. I don't know. It might be half an hour. It might be an hour. It's not going to be more than an hour because then I got to go and do things. But hi Jean, welcome. Good morning. It's the afternoon. Honestly, some parts of the world anyway. But good morning to you. Did I get nice things for Christmas? Hi Anders. Did I get nice things for Christmas? I did. One of which is directly behind me. So if you're thinking, what is this shiny, wrinkly thing over here? This is my blue screen. I know it doesn't look very much like a blue screen or a green screen, but that's because it has its reflective cover on it, because it's actually 4 things, and it took a long time to arrive, because the first time that I tried to buy it, got an email every day for a week saying, we tried to deliver your parcel to you, but it did not work because the parcel was too big. So you need to pay us £10 for redelivery, and we'll send you a gently used one. No. So got onto Amazon and went, hi, so people are trying to scam their customers via your platform. I don't think you should be going for this. So that was fine. They eventually stopped sending those emails, and then got one from somewhere else, and then it got lost in the post. It got lost in the post. And so normally it would take a week to arrive, and it showed up kind of a week after that. Like, hey, your parcel may be lost, but we know where it is now. So it should be coming to you today. And it did. And it's wonderful. It's a pop-up thing. And it folds down to like this big. And there's a cover. There's a gold cover on this side, and the other side is silver. And then if you take the cover off, then one piece of stretchy stuff, which isn't all wrinkly, is blue, and one is green. And so you can put it behind you, and bam, instant studio is the idea. Anyway, Mediocrity's Maze, Happy New Year. Captain Peregrine, you're one of the few YouTubers who will stream at a decent time for me. Well, it's a decent time for me too. It's 2:33 in the afternoon, so there we go. Let's see. I said I was gonna. I have a topic. I have topics. Honestly, I do. And the first one was so it was sword songs and some other stuff. So we did the new green/blue screen. I'm very excited about that. I'm gonna be honest. Terribly excited about the new blue-green screen thing, because my house is not big enough. The rooms in my house could technically contain the green screen that I used to have. Unfortunately, there would not then be any room for furniture, people, that kind of thing. So I gave that to Bruce, the guy who directed Flirting with Violence, the Shakespeare, Kate and Patricio scene, because he was like, yeah, I can definitely use that. That'd be great. Wonderful. Here, have this thing which is no longer useful to me. You go crazy. So yes, I'm very excited about my new green screen. Yay. Anyway, so I watched the first episode of The Witcher. You know how they said, it's amazing, it's like Game of Thrones. Right, I didn't watch Game of Thrones either, and for pretty much the same reason, in that I'm okay with, working with fake blood or gore or, violence. I mean, I make videos all the time about stage combat and all of that jazz, but can't really watch it. Just go, ooh, no good. So I watched it and went, this is really good television for people who are not me. So there we go. Anyway, Simon, you're not dead. I'm wonderful. I'm glad you're also not dead. Anyway, hi Josh. An AD&D adventuring party named Spell, Sword, and Song. I like it. Yeah, I like bards. They're often very useless, but always fun. Yes, so apparently there were dudes complaining on the internet, as some people like to do that, about how women should not be fighting with swords in The Witcher or at any other time, because you should not be swinging 10-pound swords around because it's just not realistic. Like, I freely opine, I think that's the word, like give my opinion on things that I don't really know anything about all the time. But, if you're going to do that, you should at least be open to people saying, actually, you're kind of wrong. First of all, 10 pounds is like 5 kilos, which is way too heavy for a sword. It's way too heavy even for a two-handed sword. And it's definitely too heavy for a one-handed sword. So, no. I fought with arming swords, and they were plastic when we did arming sword sort of stage combat stuff. We fought with like the plastic or resin or whatever they were made of ones. And Duncan said the thing about them is they're about the right weight. I also have some metal ones, he said, but they're actually too heavy compared to how the actual swords would have been. So I fought with the metal ones for a while, and you can make the nice sort of ting clashing noises, but they're like 1.3 kilos each, which is about 3 pounds. I don't know, something like 3 pounds. I'm not very good at converting, and they're very. You start to feel it in your shoulder. You're like, ugh, because if you try and do it with your wrist, it's just the pain of it all. I'm just saying. So yes, 10 pounds is way too heavy for anybody's sword, even if you are a big burly man. So there you go. If your sword is more than like 7 pounds, you're doing something very wrong. And if your supposedly one-handed sword is more than like 3 pounds, then you're probably also doing something wrong. Anyway, I'm going to use opine in a sentence this week. Good for you, Tristan. Hema arming sword weighs about 1.14 kilos. Yeah, that was about what the kind of plastic replicas weighed. There we go. Mast? Whichever. Hello, Angel. Salutations from Buenos Aires. Wow, nice. Hi, Marika. Nice to see you. 2.2 pounds to a kilo, of course, because that's just... Women's sword fighting is unrealistic, and magic and sorcery and mythical monsters are what, an everyday occurrence? I know, but it was just like, women can't hold 10-pound things. Well, first of all, they wouldn't be 10 pounds anyway. And second of all, yeah, but like children, handbags, shopping. There's this very famous kind of personal trainer who trains some, famous women, and for the life of me, I don't know. Never mind. There's a very famous Hollywood trainer whose workouts are like, no, the weights cannot be greater than 3 pounds, and so because their weights are no greater than 3 pounds, you do an awful lot of repetitions. And I was like, that's so inefficient, and also like many things that one carries in one's daily life way more than £3. So I don't get that. Anyway, we should talk about the sword fight from Ever After. Man, I was thinking of that the other day, and I can't remember why. Which sword fight in Ever After? Because the one I remember is the part where she grabs the sword off the table. Oh, you mean when the prince gets kidnapped and they're like, you can have whatever you can carry, so she picks him up, or something like that. I was thinking of the one at the end where she, makes a very dramatic speech about my father was an expert swordsman and you're gonna let me go or I'm gonna kill you. Anyway, your handbag weighs 10 pounds. Not mine. I don't actually have a handbag. I hate handbags. I have pockets, and occasionally I carry a bag, but that's only usually if I have a lot of stuff because I'm going somewhere far away, or if I'm bringing my camera, because that'll fit in my handbag, which is why I have a giant handbag or no handbag at all. There you go. Australia. How much does Ursa Minor weigh? More than 10 pounds, I'll tell you that. Some number of pounds. I don't know, I guess 3, like 15 kilos ish, 16, something like that. But more than, that's like 30 something pounds. So I guess 30 something pounds. Anyway, both actually. Okay. Rapper pockets. Indeed. Yeah. I should get Ever After on DVD and then we could review that one because I like that one. It's fun. Ursa Minor, they named a sword after the Little Dipper. No, Ursa Minor is my child. And because my internet name used to be Sursa Mersa when I had a baby, everyone was like, so name? And I went, Ursa Minor, obviously. So there you go. That's how that happened. Getting so big, yeah. 2 stones. I love Imperial Units. Yeah, Imperial Units are mad. I mean, they're almost intuitive because the weight of it weighs something that you would like an inch is a useful length of measurement. They kind of make sense like that, but the way that they convert into each other is so maddening that it's just like, no, metric units all the way. And especially in engineering, I used to have American textbooks, and they used imperial units. And so you had to do multiplying by scale factors and all of this kind of carry on. And I just went, nah, let's not. Let's just go for metric units because that is what we use in the United Kingdom. By gumbo. Where's our people too? Are people weighed in stones instead of pounds? Yes. So in America, people are weighed in just pounds, and in Britain, we can weigh you in kilos, or we can weigh you in stones and pounds. Stones are mad because there's like 14 pounds in a stone, and then there's 16 ounces in a pound. And this is what I mean about it being confusing. Like imperial, all over the shop. Metric, there are 10 millimeters in a centimeter and 100 centimeters in a meter, and a kilometer is 1,000 meters, and it makes sense. Scalely speaking, that is not a word. Never mind, you know what I mean. Let's see. Why don't women wear vests with massive pockets? Problem solved. See, vests, Tristan, mean something something a bit different in Britain, and so now I'm thinking like the thing that you wear under your clothes with like pockets in it, like hidden pockets. Though I kind of like that idea. I guess waistcoats is the British English equivalent, and yeah, possibly because we'd look a bit strange, but I would take that. There are companies now that make big full skirts with hidden pockets. Like, see, that's thinking with portals. Well, that's thinking with pockets. Whatever. Josh is going to a con this weekend, and your cosplay is still not done. Ha ha. Good luck with that. Mm. And you're going to New York to see Hadestown on Broadway. That's pretty awesome. Yes, Metric is much less confusing than Imperial. Anyway, scaly speaking, snake person dialect. Yes, that's the one. Just dress like the Doctor. Problem solved. Waistcoats, pocket. Yeah, that's basically what I need to do. Pockets and everything. I get very. I have basically when I go to work, I dress like this. Basically, from October to March, I dress like Steve Jobs's strange twin or younger sister or something. I don't know. It's black, is what I'm saying. It's like black from head to toe and polo necks, turtlenecks, whatever you call them. But I have lots of pairs of black jeans, but some of them have front pockets and back pockets, and some of them only have back pockets. And it's a bit annoying when you're like, nope. Yeah, okay. I always feel like more pockets are better. Anyway, favorite movies I've watched this year. Actually, yeah, and I was going to talk about songs, and that leads us we're segueing. I don't know why that's the sign for segue, but it is now. We're segueing into movies that I've seen this year. Yeah, I saw I saw something about the Golden Globes on Twitter because it said Margot Robbie is twending. It's twending on Twitter. Margot Robbie is trending on Twitter, and Lupita Nyong'o is trending on Twitter. And so I clicked, and I was like, neither of them have died or anything, have they? Because this is always my fear on Twitter. When I see someone's name trending, I'm like, did they do something awful, or have they died, or has something bad happened? I don't know. But as it turned out, no, neither of them had died, and so it was fine. But yes, the reason that you will not find many hot takes on this channel is because I am always quite far behind everybody else in terms of what on earth is happening. I'm going to turn the light on actually because it's kind of dark in here. So yeah, what was I saying? Right, Golden Globes. Okay, so I don't do hot takes because I like to carefully consider them, my opinions, so that they're not, stupid or just kind of reactionary. And therefore, by the time my opinion happens, it's more like a warm take, and so nobody wants to listen to it anyway because if you're not stoking the internet outrage machine in either direction, then Twitter just does not want to know. Anyway, I have seen 3 movies in the cinema this year. I saw Avengers Endgame, which was great, but really, really long. Like, you feel like you got your money's worth out of that one at 3 hours, but I enjoyed it. It was a good time, Marvel tell a good yarn. I saw Frozen 2, which I'll come back to in a second, which I really liked, and I saw The Rise of Skywalker, which a lot of people apparently hated. I did not. I was like, yeah, that was pretty good. It had fewer jokes than The Last Jedi. And I'm not going to, talk spoilers for The Rise of Skywalker. It had fewer jokes than The Last Jedi, and it had a couple of things where I went, are we doing that? Is that what we're doing? Okay, I guess. Sure, fine. But I enjoyed it. It was a good yarn. And that's basically what I wanted. And basically, I was like, I just don't want it to be Revenge of the Sith. I don't want, I'm enjoying it, and then suddenly it's just anathema to me, and I don't like it, and I have very strong opinions about it. No, I was like, as long as I enjoy it, it's not, absolutely awful, brilliant. And it wasn't because I like the characters, and it's all good. Anyway, Knives Out was great. Proof that Rian Johnson can direct and write. Well, see, unlike most of the internet, apparently, I really enjoyed The Last Jedi. So, but Knives Out. Yes. No Addams Family. There's an Addams Family movie? I didn't even know that. Cool. Or is it a series? Or actually, I don't know. My problem with Rise of Skywalker is that I felt nothing. Well, that's fair. It's like, if you go to the cinema and you were like, no. That being said, it's fascinating to me that so many people talked about Cats. Hang on. So many people talked about Cats and how terrible it was, but almost nobody went to actually see Cats. So it turns out like irony Twitter is not a great gauge of what people are actually watching. So that was interesting. Frozen 2. Right. I said I'd come back to Frozen 2. Animated Addams Family movie. Ooh. Okay. Good thing. Frozen 2. I loved it. More than The Rise of Skywalker, actually, which was, fine. I enjoyed The Rise of Skywalker. It's like, I felt the feelings at most of the appropriate moments, and that was good. But Frozen 2, just, I think I like it better than the first one. I certainly like the structure of it better in terms of songs, because Frozen is great. You get all these great songs, and then Let It Go happens, and they're like, well, guess we can't top that. So you don't even get a reprise. Just like, nope, no more singing till the end. Thank you. Whereas this one, they kind of spread it out. And okay, again, no spoilers, but there's a moment with Kristoff, and the music starts before he starts to sing this one particular song called "Lost in the Woods," and I went, "Are we really doing this?" And the answer was, yeah, we're really doing this. And it was just so beautiful. Anyway, I got the soundtrack for Christmas, the like extended soundtrack with with some like the deleted music. And I listened to the deleted music and went, yeah, most of this I get that it couldn't be in there. There's one track that I'm really sad didn't make it in, though I understand why it didn't for like plot reasons. But it's called I've Got to Get This Right or something like that. And it's a Kristoff and Anna duet. And it's but man, loved Frozen 2 so much, especially the songs. And now I want to sing all of them. And so I came out of the cinema and went, can I sing both parts of Into the Unknown? Is that physically possible? So I have been practicing because I'm in Jekyll and Hyde in the chorus, and I'm one of the soprano section, and so I have been practicing my way up there kind of notes. And as it turns out, yes, I can. So that's going to be a thing that I do at a point in the future, which is going to be great. Hopefully, the conversations around the Rise of Skywalker have made certain parts of the internet a nightmare. I am with you. Boy, am I with you. So I don't go there. Plot was non-existent, but you don't watch Addams Family for plot. Fair. I went to see Rise of Skywalker with so little expectation, I ended up really liking it. Yeah, it was kind of like that. I was like, I am not getting on the hype train. I refuse, because if you do, you just end up disappointed. So, there. What is that pale liquid that you were drinking? Oh, it's water. Like, it's just water. But the inside of the cup is sort of yellowish. So it looks kind of yellow. She's Irish. They pretty much live on tea and biscuits. I mean, fair. I don't drink a lot of tea, really, at all. Mostly I drink it to be polite, so that means like 3 cups a year. But biscuits, definitely. I've had like 8 biscuits already today. Whoever thought of the Lost in the Woods sequence needs all of the raises. Yes, exactly. Man, did I love it. And the bit there was a bit with the pine cone, and it was yeah. Anyway, Frozen 2 was a bit of a non-event in Australia. Well, I mean, you are kind of on fire there, like very literally on fire, which is, bad, I guess. Is that why, or is it just that you guys didn't really like it? Anyway, any chance of a singing fighting combination? That's a really good question, and I don't know. It's quite that generally in stage combat they dissuade you, at least in theatre, from talking while fighting, both because it sometimes looks a bit silly, and also because it's hard to hear you if you're moving about, or it's harder to hear you. When you're filming it, though, it doesn't matter so much because you've got a microphone up here ready to catch what you're saying. I was able to enjoy The Rise of Skywalker, and now I'm being very careful not to think too hard about it. Tim Tams. What? What did you think of the Cassifin from Spyfall? I have not seen that yet. I went, oh, Doctor Who, I need to catch up on that, and I haven't. But to be fair, I was out till 11 o'clock last night at rehearsal, and it's been quite a busy sort of couple of weeks. Still, I'm going to watch it, and hopefully I'm going to enjoy it. I don't know. People seem to, well, they're like, oh, the viewing figures dropped off. I'm like, that always happens in a series. You know, more people watch it at the start, and then less people watch the second one because they watch the first one. They're like, yeah, this is my thing, or nah. Anyway. Right. Sorry, I was checking my list to see if there was something that I meant to say that I'd forgotten about, but not, you know, currently. Tim Tams are the quintessential Australian biscuit. See, I've heard of Tim Tams because of Shauna Maguire, who wrote, she wrote the Toby Day series, which I've reviewed on the show, but she also wrote the Encrypted series, which is about a family of cryptozoologists. So they're like monster hunters, but also monster preservers, because monsters are people too. Anyway, in one of the books, one of the characters goes to Australia, and then there's this whole discussion about Tim Tams. Like, Tim Tams are an important plot point. So yeah, it's like, I understand that they're Australian and that they're sweet, but further than that, there you go. Apparently, Australia did not much enjoy Frozen 2. Fair enough. Have you watched Wrath of Khan yet? Can we get a review? I've not. I've got it now. It's here. It exists in my house, but I haven't watched it yet. Or like many, many other things. The only reason I got to watch the first episode of The Witcher was because we were at my in-laws' house, and my mother-in-law has Netflix. So I was like, I'm going to watch that. And then I went, I knew there was a reason that I probably wasn't going to like that. Man, the sword work is so good, though. So good. Anyway, it's like, I'm really sad I can't watch it. Basically, what I need is the 12A cut of The Witcher, because then I'd be able to watch it and not want to throw up. And, you know, then I would also be able to enjoy all of the, like, plot and stuff. Yeah. Did you watch The Mandalorian? No, see, because I don't have Netflix. Just listen to the soundtrack to Jekyll for the first time. Let's be real, Bring On the Men is totally my theme song. Bring On the Men is a very, you know, it's a really earwormy song. We were practicing it last night. And when I say practicing, I mean, like, basically I just sort of stand around and get drinks and stuff. That is my job in this particular scene. But, you know, it's a very earwormy song. My favorite from the Jekyll and Hyde kind of soundtrack is In His Eyes, which is this amazing duet between the two female leads, and it's just, I love it. Our female leads were practicing it last night, and I was like, they've never done this together before, and they're just brilliant. Okay, I now know what Tim Tams are, so that's good. Have I seen Lighthouse? No. I think the main problem many critics had with the new trilogy is they're not 10 anymore. It's sad not to be 10 anymore in some ways. Disney Plus. Well, I don't have Disney Plus either. I don't have Disney Plus or Netflix. I have a television. Mostly it plays CBeebies nowadays, but, you know, I have a television and a TV license and the BBC. A computer, obviously, because otherwise how would I be talking to you? But, you know, basically, if I got those things, I would never do anything else, and I would just live in a hovel and not have a job. This is my kind of rationale behind not having them at the moment. Anyway, so it's been half an hour. There you go. I can't remember what else is happening. So musical is happening. We did dance choreography last night, which was interesting. Not very dancey, but luckily it's not particularly hard. It's just like you move forward, you move back, and then you sway from side to side, and then maybe you sway and then you cross your foot over, and then maybe you have to spin or something. And so if you go over it enough times, I'm fine. I never did any kind of dance as a child, which I'm not sure if that was because I was so physically inept, or if that kind of contributed to me being physically inept. But there you go. But I'm getting the hang of it. It's a bit like stage combat. I'm just envisioning it as, you know, the similar kind of thing, because you have to learn the footwork and you have to have eye contact and you put this foot here and then this foot here and then this hand goes here and whatever. Are you going to see Little Women? Hopefully. You said you had great news on Twitter that you weren't pregnant. Was that the great news? That was not the great news, but I cannot tell you what the great news is because it's but you'll find out in like February, I guess. Seems likely. But it's pretty good for me. And I was pleased about it. Tips for decluttering. Wow. Well, my usual reason for decluttering in the past has been I'm moving house. So I don't recommend that as it's a very effective method of decluttering, but as stress producing things go, I don't necessarily recommend it. If you are going to move, then definitely start with oh, I don't need that. Oh, that's nonsense. Oh, that's out of date. Well in advance. Or you could just like pretend you're moving and then go through all of your stuff as if you're doing that. I'm just saying, it's a wonderful way. It's a very focusing kind of thing, is moving house. But now I'm not doing that anymore, and so instead I just kind of go through rooms. I mean, Marie Kondo is all like go through categories, but the thing is my categories are mostly confined to rooms. So like I don't have any kitchen stuff anywhere other than my kitchen. So before Christmas I went through my entire kitchen and, you know, chucked out anything that had been lurking at the back of the cupboard that was expired or whatever, and rejigged my cabinet so that you could actually get the pans out and all of that kind of stuff. Look at everything you have in your cupboards. If you haven't used it in 10 years, throw it out unless it has sentimental value. Man. 10, yeah, well, that's a good tip. I mean, 10 years is a very long time when you're me. So that would probably work. Are you working on a film version of the play you were in? Possibly. We're sort of trying, but at the minute, nobody's really doing anything because everybody's in other stuff or, you know, working or doing that kind of thing. But at the very least, we're planning on doing something else together, because you know how sometimes you meet a group of you know how sometimes you meet a group of people and you go, I like you. We should do more things. It's been very much I like you and we should do more things. So we definitely will. But I don't know what yet. My cats are my cat. My cat is good. He's currently I let him in when I came back from work. He came into the house, meowed some more, meowed some more, and then I put him out again. And then he was sad because I put him out. And then I let him back in, and then he meowed some more. So I think what he actually wants is attention. But, you know, I had to do other things, like clean the bath. That's bringing us right back around to the start of this live stream. Ah, I'm getting a little bit hoarse. That is quite the reflector back there. Thank you. Yes, it's I'm very much looking forward to using my green screen. But the most efficient way to store this is not like this, obviously. But I wanted to show you all about it. But the most efficient way to store it is with the reflective covers on, because then you twist it all up and you put it in its little bag and you're done. The circle is a lot flatter if you take the covers off, and then it's just green on one side and blue on the other. But then you have to store the cover separately, which is no good, really, because I lose things, or they get trampled on, or stuff gets spilled on, or they get torn, or whatever. You have cats now, Simon. That's nice. I like cats, even if they're just like random cats that come to you for food. My cat, I think, at one point got very fat by doing that in various places. Have nothing in your house that you do not know to be useful or believe to be beautiful. That's nice. I like that. I've heard that before. It's, yes, I try and adhere to that. Or at least someone in my house thinks it's useful or beautiful, which means there's also a lot of random stuff in my house that I would not personally have here, but, someone else likes it. So that's okay. Where do nerdy women hang out? Yeah, that's like a problem. That's a problem. Why did I say? Anyway, the problem with trying to meet nerdy women is that most of us are introverts, and so we kind of hang out in our houses or on the internet, because you don't have to. You can consider your responses and don't have to talk to people immediately or whatever. Stage combat courses. I'm trying to think where I go when I go places. I don't know. I hear that people hang out in libraries and bookshops. I'm trying to remember what I did when I had free time, and I'm struggling because it was a long time ago. I don't know. Online websites for nerdy. Online websites. Honestly, I sound like my late grandmother. The online websites, I go to community college, plenty of nerdy women. That's, yeah. There. Yes, places where you get education, places where you can learn things, which I guess, hence stage combat classes, because those are very fun. And also you learn something. I was watching your stuff you like on copyright where you did the American accent, and you said it took a week to practice. What was most difficult? The difficult thing for me with an American accent is that, well, I mean, there are lots of different kinds of American accent for a start. And so picking the kind of generic, slightly California one is easier. But some of the problem actually is that a lot of my pronunciation isn't that far off American to begin with. Because when you do something like received pronunciation, which is what Americans call a British accent, the shapes that your mouth makes, or at least for me, as someone with my extremely weird accent, the shapes that your mouth makes are kind of different, and so you get into that way of speaking and it's fine. But with American, some of the words that I say don't have to be changed at all, but some of them have to be changed quite significantly. And so it's finding which is which that I find tricky. All right. See you, Josh. The problem with nerdy circles is that the ratio of men to women is 10 to 1, so the girls get swarmed and then they don't come back. And the nerdy men tend to be just as introverted. I mean, that's fair. Stage combat. 50-50. Stage combat is now my response to everything. What will help with stage combat? Yes. My neighbor's cat likes inviting himself over to drink from the bathtub plug hole. Yeah, cats. Mine likes drinking from cups. Specifically. I mean, you can give the cat a bowl of water and be like, look, Sherlock, here is a bowl of lovely fresh water for you. But no, he'd rather drink out of a cup on your bedside table. Because of course. Why would you not? Oh, this is live. Yes, this is live. We're live. I'm talking and you're talking back in the typey sense. It's great. However, I am kind of running out of steam here a little bit because my throat is going. But I'm going to answer these last two things from Mark and Glenn. You drink from the cup, so that water must be best. And then I'm probably going to go because that'll be like 45 minutes. And that seems like a good time to stop, I guess. I don't know. Okay. What is your definition of a nerd and a geek? Is there a difference? Is one of the two derogatory? To be honest, I don't really know. And like, I'm sure there's, there's probably some kind of difference that is generally accepted, but I don't know. And also, in the nicest possible way, don't really care. It's like, it's a word. I prefer nerd to geek. I just, not even from a definition point of view, because I don't know if there's a particular difference in definition, but just because the word sounds nicer to me. Like, there's no hard G, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like the word nerd sounds nicer than the word geek. Yeah. Sorry, I missed all this. Well, you're here for a little bit of it. Classically, a geek seems live animals, right? Anyway, Mark, like many, I find you on Fallacies, but I'm viewing lots of your older videos and I see your evolution. How do you think social media has changed or impacted you? That is an interesting question. I would love to know how many of you on here right now, there are 37 of you, how many of you found me through that and how many of you found me through something else. So you should let me know. I think you're like 10 seconds behind me, if you see what I mean. So you can let me know when this happens on the screen. If you see. Yeah, anyway. My cat likes Lidl ice cream clones, ice cream, but only from gluten-free cones. Your cat is very particular, Elena, but I guess we shouldn't be surprised by that. Anyway, social media, right. So I think YouTube as a social media platform has obviously impacted me tremendously because that's where I make videos. I used to make them on Blip, which was a very, very different environment because you didn't get you got many fewer views because people didn't kind of like drive by watch your videos. And so, but also the CPM was much higher back in the day. But moving to YouTube has been interesting because it's a very different kind of environment. Oh, thanks, Mark. Man, I love super chats. They're great. And they're different colors. And now I know this because the other kind is like blue and that one's orange. And now I know. R.I.P. Blip. Oh, okay, great. Channel awesome, channel awesome, channel awesome, channel awesome. YouTube just sent me to you through magic or something. I like that. That guy with the glasses, Shay Apocalypse. The channel that must not be named. Yeah. Fascinating. Through the nostalgia tape, but I followed you rather than... Okay, cool. I was somebody on Blip. Not much of a somebody, not somebody to a lot of people, Simon, but I feel like, we were somebody to somebody. Channel awesome. Logical fallacies. Interesting. So a lot of my new subscribers come from the logical fallacies video and they just like hit subscribe. They're like, I like this video. Subscribe. I'm like, okay. And then they never watch anything else because it's like, hey, let's talk about Frozen. Sorry, I'm getting back on topic. Social media. I went through a phase, I think, I'm not sure how much of it was social media based, but I started very positively. Well, I mean, the show is called Stuff You Like. Uh, and then kind of, I don't know, became more critical. That there was a period that was analysis, but very positive, and then there was analysis that was more negative, but also positivity. And then I feel like I've kind of moved back into the. I'm just like, man, I just hate hot takes now. Not other people doing them necessarily, though. I'm kind of like, that's nice. You have an opinion, wonderful. Um, but like, I want to have a reasonable and considered opinion on things, and I want to talk about things which I like, and that hasn't really changed. And now, nearly 9 years in, I'm a lot more confident about going, well, okay, that's nice that you don't like me. That's nice that you have all these weird comments. You know what I'm going to use that for? I'm going to use that for my, stand-up routine. Um, I'm Social media helps you, or at least teaches you, or forces you possibly to be thicker skinned about criticism, because it's like, wow, this is literally coming from someone I've never met, who's never met me, and whose opinions in real life I wouldn't really care about. And also, they'd never say that to my face. Never. Um, I left Twitter because it was too much of a time sink. I felt like a rat in a Skinner box looking to see if I had any notifications. I mean, I think rat in a Skinner box is basically how most people interact with Twitter, including me, to be fair. It's, yeah. Elena, we met at Stage Combat. So, I mean, that's true. Hello. I think Marika's here as well, who I also met through Stage Combat. Hi, guys. Ladies. I didn't recognize you when I first saw you here, having seen you on That Guy with the Glasses. What happened to Channel Awesome? Did it die a silent death? No, it didn't. I mean, the website is, the website is still being updated. The last time I checked, which was some considerable time ago, but they still have a YouTube channel. As far as I know, they're still doing like pretty well. That's so weird. Okay, sorry. I'm looking at this super chat thing at the top, and it's got a little bar on it with different colors. Anyway, logical fallacies. Logical fallacies got me to take that free online course you mentioned. Then, because of that, I took an intro to logic course in uni. So that was pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I do stand up. Yes, I do stand up. Well, sort of. I took an acting class No, hold on. I took an acting class in the sort of summer, or was it the spring, I guess, sort of local to me. And the theme for the month was comedy. And so we did improv and clowning and stand-up and all this kind of stuff. And we had a little kind of showcase at the end. And they said, you can do whatever you want. And I went, I'm going to do a stand-up set. And they said, basically, any set, anything you do, whatever, it's 5 minutes or less. So I did a sketch with another guy, which was, they're both in a play. They're both in a Shakespeare play, but she thinks she's in Macbeth and he thinks he's in Romeo and Juliet. So he's saying Romeo's lines, and he's right because it's Tuesday. And she thinks that it's, Wednesday, and all of her lines are Lady Macbeth. And so it was actually quite difficult to learn because none of the lines actually led into each other at all. They're all familiar because they're all from Romeo and Juliet or Macbeth, but you like, what soft, what light from yonder window breaks? It is the east and Juliet is the sun. And then my line is, the raven himself is horse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements, and so on and so forth. And then I also did a stand-up set, and it was called, basically, I just read YouTube comments and talked about them a bit. And it was hilarious because it was kind of I don't want to say an older audience, but what I mean is my YouTube audience is kind of like mostly 25 to 35, and then some 18 to 24, and it's there are some people who are 35 to 45, but most of my YouTube audience is my age or younger, and most of the people in the audience were older than me. And so about a minute in, I said, sometimes the comments just get really, really personal. And I had like 5 or 6 different ones, which I was going to go through. And the first one was just, she's ugly. And the whole, when you can feel something as well as hear it, the whole audience went, and I went, oh man, you have no idea how much more interesting this is going to get, you guys. So yes, I have a stand-up routine, only the one, and it's only 5 minutes long, but it's a lot of fun. Did you miss the sword stuff? Yes, but don't worry, you can go back and watch it again. And it was basically me complaining about people not knowing how much swords weigh. Maybe click the super chat bar or something. Well, I did, and it says the name of the person who did it. So that's cool. Thanks, Mark. CA treats the Chicago crew nicely. Well, I'm very glad to hear that. That's a magnificent mug. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's like I bought it because I was like, I want a mug which has large amounts of capacity for water. Now I feel I turned 46 last Saturday. Happy birthday for last week. Do the stand-up routine next week. Possibly. I want to show you Kate Meets Petruchio video to my English literature teacher to use in their classes. Feel free, by all means. I mean, I would be very happy with that. Do they show Dinner for One where you live? No. I've heard of it, but I have a friend in America called Mike, and he has explained to me what it is before. I think I've forgotten what it is, but it's not really the point. If there's a question attached to the super chat, it is immediately visible. Oh, okay. I gotcha. As far as I can tell, there is not. Anyway. Right. Okay. I think I'm gonna close it off now and go and do the things. Also, I heard beeping, and I think that was my washing machine. Oh, yeah. I see what you did there with the super chatting, and it says like so, because, yeah. Am I going to do any more religious history videos? Probably not. I mean, maybe. YouTube won't monetize them, though, because they're about religion. So if I do, that'll be like a patron-supported kind of project, or I'll just do it because I'm like, I really, really have an opinion on this and wish to make a video. Although I really have an opinion on this and wish to make a video. That was what resulted in my logical fallacies video, actually, because I was like, I'm really annoyed by people on the internet who are very bad at arguing, and so I'm going to do something about that. I haven't figured out what yet, but I'm going to think of something. Anyway. Dinner for One is shown in German television every year on New Year's Eve. Oh. Huh. Thank you, Blacksmith. Bye to you too. Wow, these are cool. Okay, so there's blue and yellow and orange. Nice. I like it. Wait, was it a German who told me about Dinner for One? See, now I don't know. Yeah, my memory is occasionally not great. I was even Monty Python sketch on arguments. Probably, but I don't specifically remember it. There is a beeping in my house. I don't think it's a bad beeping. I think it's like your washing machine has finished or something like that. But since something is beeping insistently at me, I should probably go find out what it is. Just in case it's, the smoke alarm or something. Words are difficult. People are wrong on the internet. Your eyes lit up like fire. That is exactly what happened. Anyway, I am going to figure out how to turn this off, because every time I do this, oh no, there's a big button. It's fine. Yeah, I'm going to wait for a little second and say Thank you for coming. It was nice to see you all. Thank you for super chatting, people who super chatted. That's always super nice. Um, I hope you enjoyed me talking a lot for 55 minutes. And I'll see you guys all soon. There will be a video up, I don't know, possibly next week or possibly the week after. Basically, it depends what my schedule looks like in terms of work and stuff. But there will be stuff. And there'll be more live streams, hopefully, because, they're fun. I like them. I need to get some more water and find out what the beeping is. Have a good day, guys. Clickety thing. Bye, 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 bye. Bye.